Well, here we are. It is the end of 2025, and of course, it's time to lay out on the table what tools made that cut for the year. Now, you've seen some of these tools through my TikTok. You've also seen TikToks on some of these tools. Now, there's all different shapes, there's all different makes, and all different sizes of these tools. So there is no doubt also they have all helped out this year in the operation, from being out in the field as well as in the workshop and all in between. So let's go through the tools that made the 2025 season. So we're kicking it off here with the SP Tools side. We've got the SP Tools MX Boost Jump Starter there, as well as the SX Boost Jump Starter here. Now, both of these have been a massive part of the operation this year. Obviously, we've had this one for a while, and I tell you now, it is one of the best I've ever had, and to be honest, it's actually one of the only ones I've ever had. This thing really punches out some juice when we need to get to it. Obviously, it is 12 volt and 24 volt, so very handy for some of those trucks that are 24 volt, and surprisingly enough, my case loader is 24. Obviously, then jumping on to the new one that we got this year, the 12 volt jumper starter. Now, this is a weapon of a thing, 100%. It jump started a dead battery on my 4480 Chamberlain tractor. Now, if you know, you know, and this thing here punched it out, no drama whatsoever. So, two of the main tools, very handy this year, as well as very handy to have in the workshop, out in the field, when you need it most. Next on the list here is the Blue Jet from Sigwald, the classic good old torch here with a bit of the old trade map gas on it. Now, this no doubt has come in very handy with a couple of jobs here around the workshop, but as well as out in the field when we've needed it most and we don't want to really grab the old oxy and acetylene torch out, this here has done the job on heating up a couple of rusty nuts or bending back a bit of metal after a bit of a whoopsie. So this has made the list because of its versatility, as well as it's got a good amount of heat that pumps out of it. Of course, on the list next. Now, none of these are from best to worst or anything like that. It is just they've all made the list, and this is just the order that I've put them in. This is a Mantis clamp from Fireball Tools. Now, I've done a video on this a good couple of times over the years, and it is still one of the most handiest clamps to have. Obviously, reason being, again, the standard C clamp has not much, well, has quite a deep throat, where this here is a bit of offset, and you can actually get into a couple of tight spots that some of those C clamp won't get into. This is a recent purchase that I got during harvest. Now, this is actually a vessel type 3/8 electric ratchet. Now, quite small compared to your other types. Now, you've seen a couple of videos on these on TikTok. I have as well, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a crack in the dark. Now, I must admit, it's not bad, okay? It really isn't, but there's no doubt it only pumps out, I think it's 60 newton meters or something less than that, and of course, you can actually tell that it does that. So, it's definitely made the list for the year, no doubt, because it has come in quite handy with a couple of those smaller bolts, but on the other side of it, it is a bit lacking in power. But again, you've sort of got to step back and go, well, Tim, look at the size of it, and it's a classic old type, I think it's Type C battery charger that goes on it. So she's not going to be pulling out some of the big rattle gun types, but for a couple of those brand new bolts that you want to do up, or again, you want to crack, this thing will do the job well. But there's no doubt it has got its limitations. Very handy this year, 100% the best, is these step tip drill and tap combos going on here. Now, I've got all the sizes, 12, 10s, I think right down to 3. Very handy. You will be surprised the amount of times you will reach for these compared to just drilling and putting a nut and bolt on. You will actually go, you know what, I can afford to do it. Bugger it, we're going to bloody tap that piece of steel or bit of metal, and we're going to put a bolt straight in and save grabbing some nuts. So, very handy. Obviously, very handy to get the whole kit, because you never know what size you may need for whatever job you're doing. Here's here a bit of a controversy. I've done some videos in the past, and I must admit they're always bringing out some of the big wigs, obviously, about these are hydraulic relief tools. Okay, you obviously plug your hydraulic in there, turn the handle, and it releases the pressure out of it into a container. Now, a lot of people always jump on the comments, oh, just bang it on a piece of steel, crack it with a shifter and all that sort of stuff. This is a very safe way to do that. Now, also, people jump on there and go, oh, why don't you put it in float and all this sort of stuff? Some of the old equipment don't have float, okay? So that's where these come in handy, as well as over pressure time when something's been either sitting outside or sitting for a while, it can build up pressure. So obviously, regardless of you putting in float, sometimes it can build it back up. And I've come across that before. So very handy to have these, obviously the male and female. Last but not least on the list are these carpet scissors from Sterling. Now, I've cut a little bit of carpet with them, but I've actually cut a lot of rubber with them. And obviously I've got the other type of Sterlings, the Black Panthers have always come in handy, but I must admit I'm reaching for these, and the reason being is because of the angle on them, okay? When you're cutting through something, obviously your hand is going to be quite close to what you're cutting, where I sometimes reach for these, and obviously you can sort of see you're cutting and your hand's out of the way for whatever reason. So I've actually reached for these more than what I thought I would. So there's no doubt they're bloody handy to have in the workshop or rolling around on the service truck or in the back of the ute, or to be honest, at home. Well, there you have it. These are the tools that have made the 2025 season. And like I said at the start, these are coming from all different brands, all different shapes and all different sizes. But there is no doubt they have also played a massive part in my operation this year, from some new builds to some old builds to some breakdowns in the field or down the road or even up a tree. They've all played a massive part. Now, there's no doubt as we stop for the year at 2025, about to walk into 2026, I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone that has followed along in this type of videos. From all my tool videos, it has been very much appreciated for all your comments, your shares, your likes. It's really been very much appreciated, so thank you. And we're going to be kicking off, of course, walking into 26. We've got some more tools because, you know me, I love a good tool, I love a good review. And at the end of the day, if one of my videos helps someone to choose the right tool for the right job, or they've never known about a tool before, well, do you know what? I've done something good. So happy days here. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Cheers.